Greetings, this is Stephen McKenzie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about me, go to the About page on this YouTube channel. Also, in the lower right hand corner of the banner are my LinkedIn, Facebook, my blog, and download my latest benefit concert audios. This is out of the Carcassi method. I'll provide a link to where to get it. It's this one. Mel Bay. It's in print. I had this old black one that I like better, but it's not in print anymore. So we're doing C major. And look, I haven't practiced this stuff, so I'm just going to fumble along with you. But I do have recordings of the exercise, the cadence, the prelude, the andantino, the waltz, the allegretto. On my YouTube channel, I'll provide a link to that. But I'll show you how to practice these and principles behind them and how to play them. Probably won't play through them though. So on page 16 starts the scale, and it gives you like 8 permutations to play rest stroke and free stroke, and I might add PI, so make it 9 permutations, but it's here in the first position. You know, there's a Segovia scale like this, right? And so what's nice about a Segovia scale, you use all 4 of your fingers. But this scale is very important, the one that's in this book, because it maps very well to the rest of the music, all in first position here. And so while you do not get to use the pinky, it's very good for the music, from a music point of view. So anyway, he has you doing it M-I, M-I, I-M-I-M, M-A, M-A, A-M, A-M. And if those too many permutations, split it up, but I would make sure that if you're going to do M-I-M-I, then do I-M-I-M. And if you're going to do rest stroke, do the free stroke too. So maybe just break it into 2 parts. One day M-I-M-I, I-M-I-M in rest stroke and free stroke. Then another day M-A-M-A, A-M-A-M, rest stroke and free stroke. Anyway, so it just sounds like this. You know, that seems like it's very simple, but let me tell you something about all these exercises. Even if you're intermediate, these exercises are always good to go back and revisit, to just work on things, work on planting and right hand alignment and so on, and just practicing chord changes and so on. You'd be surprised how much you could get out of revisiting these. I know that I do. So the exercise is a little more interesting, and it starts off with the fingering starting with I. And what I would do is I would go ahead and write in the rest of it using strict alternating I am, I am, I am, I am, all the way through to the very last quarter note. So let's see if I can play this right. So what's interesting here? Seems very simple, but really there are alignment issues that you could be very explicit about. You know, when you're playing, you don't want to think too much about alignment. When you're practicing, it's a good thing to keep in mind, sort of as gymnastics and discipline. So it starts like this. Okay, so now you just played that C, and then you have to come back and play the E. So just come back and do it. Go ahead and slide back and get the I aligned before you just reach back. Okay? So let's play it from the beginning again. Okay, now the next note's going to be E, so then you're going to come back 2 strings. And then you're going to come back and get the G. Back up. So that's a good thing to practice, is getting your alignment, making sure the big knuckles always right above the string that you're playing. So so I showed you how to do it between measure 1 and 2. Then you're going to do it in descending style in measure 3. And then a little bit in the second to the last measure also. Anyway, alignment. And I'll refer you to my right hand alignment video for more details on that. So the next thing is the cadence. And these are chords. So the first chord is this. And then the second chord, how do you want to move? So the way I think I want to move is by putting down 3 and 2 and then 1 and 4. Oops. So let's do that again. So I played. So you're going from here. And then actually, see, this is a common pattern right here. Then you just put... So from here, and the 3, 2, 4, then 1. So just practice that. It's going back and forth. Normally you like to find a guide finger, but here you have to, everything comes up. So the only thing, some guide fingers might be 3 to 3 here. And then 1 to 1 there, and then 2 and 4. So that's another way of doing it. So 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4. And then this one, for the G, you're just going to move 1 back on the C and lift everything. And this one you put the 3 down on the G and then the 1 on the F. Then back to this. Okay, so that's the cadence. So experiment what's easiest for you. Try to identify guide fingers or find out what are the easiest jumps that sort of keep your hand in the same shape. Like, okay, the prelude. The key to the prelude here is notice that they're all ascending. So what does that mean? If you watch my Giuliani studies, you would know that this is an opportunity to plant. So you're going to put all your fingers down and then just lift, then just play them through sequentially up. So like that. Then plant again. So the only thing you're going to lift here, you're going to use the 1 is going to stay down. Okay, now the 1 still stays down, but now you're going to put the 2 on the A and keep the 1 down. And then the 2 stays down for a few measures now. You just stays down on the F. And the 1 goes back on the C. Now here is you're going to put the 1 on the A, the 2 on the C sharp, and the 4 on the G. So notice there's a sharp here. And whenever there's accidentals in simple chord progressions like this, and there's a key there's a note that's out of key, that's a sign that you want to create some tension there. Now, it's just not random. I don't want to get too heavy into music theory here, but it's based on parallel mode type theory. And so, anyway, whenever you have these accidentals that are out of key, you note that you're going to want to create tension. So that's that's an interpretation hint. So again, it's, and then we're going to put the 2 back down to the A again. And now we're going to put the 1 on the C. And now we're going to move the 1 to the C, F. And then we're going to jump 1 and 3 to the C, So one thing you can do is block these. And then for your right hand, you can play it just right hand only. Then you're ready to play it. Okay. And we have a recording of that I'll have a link to. And then the Adantino. So what you can do with this is you can play it right hand only. So that was the first line. And you can continue doing that all the way through. Right hand only. Now you want to keep the middle, that open G, and that middle note, you want to be barely audible. Okay. But then the second part, there is no middle part. It's bass and these thirds, so it's. Here's the sharp, and then here's another one. Watch the change in the bass. You can block these two if you want. and so on. And then the waltz has sort of this, the same fingerings, and watch the right hand alignment on this one too. So notice it starts off with piano, and then forte. And then medium. So notice there in the on the second line, when it has the C sharp, there's that accidental. So we're getting to this. Basically, the 2 chord off the 5 chord is A7. So it's, so you want that to build up to that point, and that might be the loudest part, the most tension. So from the beginning of the second line. Okay, and then there's lots of repeats here, so honor the repeats and play it as written, and this gives you the opportunity to, apply some. Don't repeat it playing it just the same. You can play it staccato. You can play it more sol punticello, to change the tone of it, and just mix it up. So practice doing that. You don't want to just repeat and play it the same every time. Then the last line is sort of this switching from C major to A minor, which is the same key, but it has that different sound starting in the 6th degree, or that is, the A minor is the 6th degree. It starts with E. So there's another chance to change your, maybe the second time you play it sol. Okay, I have a recording for all these. I'll leave a link to. Okay, now they put the arpeggios in here. Layout of this edition of the book sort of integrates a lot of the other exercises, and the progressive pieces that were in the back of the black one, I sort of integrate it more into the key, pivoting on the keys. Okay, so now we have arpeggios with thumb and 3 fingers. So again, number 1 is all ascending, so you're going to do full plant. See how I'm planting? So everything's down here, and then so right as I'm playing that E, I and M are already down, and then here when I play a P, I and A are down. And this is sequential planting. So sequential planting means I've got A down already, but I'm not going to put the I down yet. P's down in A, then E and M is down. A is down, M is down, A, M, again, I'll refer you to the Giuliani video. Okay, this one is ascending and then comes down, so it's going to be full plant on the way up, and then plant M, then I, plant everything, A, then M, then I, plant everything, then A, then M, then I, plant everything, A, then M, then I. And then this one, you're going to start sequential, and now it's going to be full. Sequential, now full. Sequential, full, full. So whenever the notes ascend, you plant full with how many fingers are going to be played. You know, so it's a two finger plant when two notes are going to be played. And then arpeggio exercise at the bottom of 18 is I and M on the top two strings. And so this is more of a thumb exercise. You're going to be jumping the thumb from the fifth string to the third string, and from the sixth string to the third string. So, and this is all full plant with I and M. Okay, chord change. Okay, the next is the allegretto. So let's look at that pattern. So it's P-I-M-I-A-M. And that's the way it is through on this grouping. That's in measure 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and so on. So you have this little pickup ditty. So I'm full planting, and then sequential. Okay, now we have a little change up. So we're going to be playing this G is keep it quiet. Okay, so you notice this. So that's another accidental. So that you want to create the tension, maybe even kind of build up to that point, make that the high point, and then resolve. Then back to the beginning. And so again, we have repeats here, so it's an opportunity to change the tone, play it staccato, just start interpreting it, and don't just repeat it the same way. And remembering that in the first measure of the third line is an accidental, so it's the fifth of the fifth, essentially, and so build up to that. And then these last group of arpeggios starts with these are IMA arpeggios. They start with fully ascending, so full plant. And then this one. So you're going to start, you can just plant I and A here to start with, then sequentially plant M, plant I and A, sequentially plant M, and the same thing. So this is a thumb exercise. So you want to fully plant, but then just play the I as sequential plant. And then this one is all sequential plant. It. Yeah, then it goes to G. So, in general, when you're practicing, not when you're playing, but when you're practicing, think about alignment. You want to practice right hand only sometimes. Practice full plant on ascending and then sequential plant on the descending, and you're going to plant the fingers that are going to be played. You don't need to try to plant everything, just the ones that are going to be played. And then block your chords if you want to practice your chord shifts. Try to think in terms of guide fingers as much as possible to make your chord shifts easy as possible. So do some analysis, what that looks like, and experiment on what's easiest with you. On tough chords, sometimes it helps to put the 3 and 4 down before the 1 and 2, and sometimes vice versa. And then you want to identify patterns. So if you're in the C and you got 1 and 3 down, and you want to move to this G7, well, you just move this one up and this one back, and then, so anyway, I think that is it. And so if you find this content compelling, please like the video and subscribe to my channel.